What is a mental health tip that everybody should hear? The thing you're upset about is probably not the thing you're upset by. You can handle a lot when you reach your limit. There's probably a big pile of upsetting things that got you there. The one you're thinking about is just the one on top. The one you should be trying to fix is the biggest one, and it's usually closer to the bottom of the pile than the top. A tiny bit of progress is better than none at all. Healing and coping isn't an all or nothing situation. If you're too depressed to take a shower, but you can manage to brush your teeth, great. You don't have to do the full program for it to be a success. Maybe tomorrow you'll shower instead, or you'll just freshen up at the sink. You can't manage to do a full 45-minute yoga flow, but you can do the 10-minute of light stretching. Great. Any physical activity is better than none, etc. There was a post on Reddit a few years back about non-zero days. Basically just do anything. A few push-ups, some dishes, paperwork. Even if you do one thing a day to offset your day from zero, you'll start feeling better. I did this for a long time and it really helped me. After a while one little thing a day became a few more, until I was looking to check off my list each day. Ouch. Sounds like you're having a tough time, Maximum. That sucks. I've been there, so I kinda know what you're talking about. I've been in the ever-circling vortex of self-doubt, frustration, and loathing. It's no bueno. I know. If you don't mind, lemme tell you a couple things. You can read them if you want. Read them again later, if you feel like it. But honestly man, if I spend all this time typing this out to you, and you don't let it be a little tinder for your fire, well, you're just letting us both down. And you don't have to do that. You don't have to do anything. But you get to choose. Who am I? My name's Ryan, and I live in Canada. Just moved to a new city for a dream job that I got because of the rules below. I owe a lot of my success to people much cooler, kinda, more loving and greater than me. When I get the chance to maybe let a little bit of help out, it's a way of thanking them. Rule numero, you know there are no more 0 days. What's a 0 day? A 0 day is when you don't do a single ducking thing towards whatever dream or goal or want or whatever that you got going on. No more zeros. I'm not saying you gotta bust an essay out every day. That's not the point. The point I'm trying to make is that you have to make yourself promise yourself that the new system you live in is a non-zero system. Didn't do anything all ducking day and it's 11:58 p.m. Write one sentence, one push-up, read one page of that chapter. 1. Because 1 is non-zero. You feel me? When you're in the super vortex of being bummed, your pattern of behavior is keeping the vortex going. That's what you're used to. Turning into productivity ultimate master of the universe doesn't happen from the vortex. It happens from a massive string of consistent non-zeros. That's rule number 1. Do not forget. La deuxième règle, I learned French. It's a Canadian thing. Please excuse the lack of accent grades. But lemme get into rule number 2. Be grateful to the 3 U's. What? 3 me's? That sounds like mumbo jumbo bullshit. Newsflash. There are 3 U's homeless. There's the past you, the present you, and the future you. If you wanna love someone and have someone love you back, you gotta learn to love yourself. And the 3 U's are the key. Be grateful to the past you for the positive things you've done, and do favors for the future you like you would for your best bro. Feeling like shit today? Stop a second. Think of a good decision you made yesterday. Salad and tuna instead of Big Mac. Thank you younger me. Was yesterday a non-zero day because you wrote 200 words? Hey, that's all you could muster. Thank you younger me. Saved up some coin over time to buy that sweet thing you wanted. Thank you. Second part of the 3 me's is you gotta do your future self a favor. Just like you would for your best ducking friend. No best friend. You do now. You got to. It's future and past you. Tired as heck and can't get off Reddit video games interwebs. Duck you present self. This one's for future me. I'm gonna rock out P90X Abra per X for 17 minutes. I'm doing this one for future me. Alarm clock goes off and bed is too comfy. Duck you present self. This one's for my best friend. The future me. I'm up and going for a 5 kilometer run or 25 meter run. It's gotta be non-zero. Make sure you thank your old self for rocking out at the end of every single thing that makes your life better. The cycle of doing something for someone else future you and thanking someone for the good in your life past you is key to building gratitude and productivity. Do not doubt me. Over time you should spread the gratitude to others who help you on your path. Rule number 3, don't worry I'm gonna too long didn't read this bad boy at the bottom. Get a pencil and piece of paper to write it down. Seriously, you physically need to scratch marks on paper. Forgive yourself. I mean it. Maybe you got all the know-how, money, ability, strength and talent to do whatever is you wanna do, but let's say you still didn't do it. Now you're giving yourself shit for not doing what you need to be who you want to. Heads up champion. Being disappointed in yourself causes you to be less productive. Tried your best to have a non-zero day yesterday and it failed. So what? I forgive you previous self. I forgive you. But today is a non-zero masterpiece to the best of my ability. For future self. This one's for your future homes. Forgiveness man. Use it. I forgive you. Say it out loud. Last rule. Rule number 4 is the easiest and it's 3 words. Exercise and books. That's it. Pretty standard advice. But when you exercise daily you actually get smarter. When you exercise you get high from endorphins, thanks body. When you exercise you clear your mind. When you exercise you are doing your future self a huge favor. Exercise is a leg on a 3-legged stool. Feel me. As for books, almost every ducking thing we've all ever thought of, or felt, or gone through, or wanted to know how to do, or whatever, has been figured out by someone else. Get some books maximum. Post to Reddit about not caring about yourself. Good first step. Non-zero day. Thanks younger me for typing it out. You know what else you could do? Read 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. Read Emotional Intelligence. Read From Good to Great. Read Thinking Fast and Slow. Read books that will help you understand. Read the Body Weight Fitness Reddit and incorporate it into your workouts. How's them pull-ups coming? Reading is the ducking warp whistle from Super Mario 3. It gets you to the next level that much faster. That's about it man. There's so much more when it comes to how to turn non-zero days into hugely non-zero days. But that's not your mission right now. Your mission is non-zero and forgiveness and favors. You got 36 essays due in 24 minutes and it's impossible to pull off. Your past self let you down big time. But hey, I forgive you. Do as much as you can in those 24 minutes and then move on. I hope I helped a little bit maximum. I could write about this forever, but I promised myself I would go do a 15-minute run while listening to a Skills Beats Working Volume 3. Got a jet. One last piece of advice though. Regardless of whether or not reading this for the first time helps make your day better, if you wake up tomorrow and you can't remember the 4 rules I just laid out, please read this again. Have an awesome ducking day. Too long didn't read 1. Non-zero days as much as you can. To the 3 U's. Gratitude and favors. 3 Forgiveness. 4 Exercise and books, which is a sneaky way of saying self-improvement. Both physical, emotional and mental. Edit. Someone asked what I meant by much more when it comes to how to turn non-zero days into hugely non-zero days. The long and short of it is a simple truth, but it's tough to totally understand and practice. It's this: you become what you think. This doesn't mean if I think of a tree, I'll be oak in it by August. It means that the way you think, the things you think of, and the ideas you hold in your mind defines the sum total that is you. You procrastinate all the time and got fear and worry going on for something. You are becoming a procrastinator. You keep thinking about how much you want to run that 5k race in the spring and finish a champion. Are ya keeping it in mind all the time? Is it something that is defining your actions and influencing your decisions? If it is, then you're becoming the champion you're dreaming about. Dreaming about it makes it. Think and it shall be. But do not forget that action is thoughts, son. Thoughts without actions are nothing. Have faith in whatever it is you've steeled your mind to. Have faith and follow through with action. Okay, Ryan, that's a bunch of nice words and shit. But how does that help me turn slightly non-zero days into hugely non-zero days? Do you believe all these words you just read? Does it make sense to you that you become what you think of? Ask yourself, what do I think of when you get home and walk in the door? How quickly did you turn that laptop on? Did turning it on make you closer to your dreams? What would? At the bus stop? Lunch break? What direction are you focusing your intentions on? If you're like I was a few years ago, the answer was either no direction or whatever caught my eye at the moment. But no stress. Forgive yourself. You know the truth now, and knowing the truth means you can watch your habits, read books on how you think and act, and finally start changing your behavior. Here's an example: feeling like bunk cause you had 0 days or barely non-zero days. Think about what you're doing and change just a little bit more in whatever positive direction you are choosing to go. These are the things that have helped me most. Have a primary care doctor that you trust and are open with. Mine helped me figure out that I have fibromyalgia, which also causes depression. I honestly went years without a diagnosis due to me not trusting doctors, not having a good one. Hunt the good stuff is how the army puts it. Thinking about good memories helps me stay on target and also makes the horrible seem less horrible. As for thinking about the bad memories, I tend to use them to be like I've dealt with worse, so this is not even my final form, lol. Do things that combat what's making you depressed. Example: I get super depressed by climate change news. I now avoid that kind of news but also spend time trying to fix the issue. I live a zero waste lifestyle. I educate others. I did wildland firefighting to help. And I invest in environmental companies. Every little thing I do to help helps me indirectly. You aren't responsible for others' happiness. Always be there for your loved ones and support them however you can. But you can do everything right and still not be able to help fix someone. If someone is drowning, throw them all the life preservers you can find. But don't swim out and join them, or you'll soon find yourself drowning right alongside them. Sleep is unbelievably important for your mental health. A consistent sleep schedule will make working through shit possible. Choose a time window that you will be able to consistently keep up, like 10:30 to 7 or 11:30 to 8, and have that be your time for sleeping. To an hour before you go to bed. Try to only do quiet, calming things for your nervous system, like watching funny things versus scary or stressful, or reading. 3. Avoid alcohol or marijuana to help you fall asleep. Pretty sure studies have shown that it may help to fall asleep, but not to stay asleep and have a good quality sleep. 4. Go to bed at your sleeping time and lay in bed to see if sleep will come. Try counting, doing progressive muscle relaxation, conjugating verbs, saying nice things to yourself. Try to avoid perseverating on negative things. 5. If you don't fall asleep in half an hour, get out of bed for 15 minutes and do something very calming, like more reading or listening to music, something that might help your brain relax and not stimulate you too much. Don't turn a lot of lights on. Keep things sleepy. 6. Go back to bed and repeat number 4. If you again don't fall asleep, repeat 5 and 4 and hopefully you will fall asleep eventually. Be kind to yourself and tell yourself that it's only one night and you'll need some practice before your body realizes that there is a time for it to sleep. 7. The next day, don't nap. It might be very uncomfortable, but the goal is for your body to remember that nighttime is for sleeping and daytime is for being awake. If you do nap, set multiple alarms for 20 minutes. Maximum. 8. As your bedtime comes, repeat again from step 1. As you practice this, as long as you don't let yourself nap, your body will get tired enough for you to fall asleep in the evening, and over time you should build up a healthy sleep habit system. I know it sounds simplistic, but maybe give it a go before you knock it. I also know that many people find it hard to block out a consistent time for sleeping because of work schedules. But the more consistent you can be, the better you will sleep, and the better your mental health will be. If this doesn't work, talking to a counselor can be helpful. If you're low income, you can search for counseling schools in your area. Usually you can find a master's student counseling program or organizations with discounts for low income folks. Good luck. Take care of yourself and see if you can be nice to yourself the same way you would be to a friend. I had a psychiatrist tell me once, when I was getting my prescription renewed, that depression is a disease that loves feeling sick. And so it tells your brain everything you need to do to stay sick. It's very convincing. It tells you not to get out and exercise. It tells you not to eat. It tells you to sleep all day. It tells you not to socialize. To manage depression, you have to do the opposite of what your brain most wants to do. Set an alarm at 8 AM and go walk around the neighborhood. Go lift some weights for 30 minutes. Go to a bar and find one person to talk to. Make a big salad with a small grilled steak sliced thin. He said every fiber of your being will tell you not to do these things. It will take a lot of effort. But if you truly want to feel better, you must do them. Fast forward a year, and I was off my meds. I had dropped 40 pounds. I had people at my local hole-in-the-wall bar who would look happy to see me when I walked in. If you truly want to feel better, you have to get out and do. Depression will tell you that you can't, but you can. Learning breathing tips to help when you're feeling anxious or overwhelmed is a good first step. Won't solve any underlying problems. Therapy would probably be best for that. But in the meantime, while those are being worked out, learning some breathing techniques gives you something to focus on and ground you to the reality outside of your mind, and has actual physical benefits for your brain that help relieve stress and anxiety. There's lots of different methods out there. This article looks like it has a pretty good summary of them. Link. Acknowledge your feelings. Pay attention to them and figure out what caused them. Are you feeling anxious? Why? What caused it? Was it because you were late to work today? Or maybe are you actually always feeling anxious? If you imagine X disappearing, do you feel less anxious? What about why? Am I being rude to this person because I'm anxious? It could be anxiety or depression, but also happiness, fear, anger, or whatever. Feelings have a reason. They're what control our behavior and have deep evolutionary origins. This is not just some hippie new age idea. If we learn to listen to them, we can also learn where did they come from and how they affect our lives. It takes a lot of time and it's really difficult. Sometimes you're mad at something and just want to forget about it, but it's better to just sit down for a moment and focus on it. Feel that painful thing inside you and understand what is it and why it's there, and then you can act on it and cause true, meaningful improvements to your life and well-being. Otherwise it will always be somewhere in your head waiting to hurt you. Difficult as duck. Changed my life. No more depression and anxiety. 2 tips a therapist told me the other week for intrusive thoughts. Just let your thoughts go. Observe them and don't interact with them. For all they are is just chemical reactions in your brain. If you had a weird dream, you wouldn't rely on it or obsess over it. You'd just let it go. Do the same with your thoughts. These 2 have helped me so much in the last week. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.